I'm not a scientist or doctor, but it's my understanding that it is more complex than what you are saying, in that there is variation among men and among women, and sometimes more variation among than there is between.
Now I want to show you video of Fatima Goss Graves. She is president of the National Women's Law Center. And here she is unable to answer if there are differences between men and women.
Genetic composition of a transgender versus a woman the same? No.
Well, I'm not a scientist. But
well, we're talking about science here, so I mean, I hope they're not the same. So that's why you see all these physiological differences.
If I can answer, though, I mean, if your question is how do you define woman, a woman is an adult female, but there's a lot of variation that goes beyond my level of high school biology.
Well, I just got to tell you, you can't, I'm not looking at a definition, I'm talking about the science. The science genetically is a man is different genetics than women. Plain and simple. That's just what it is.
I guess what I would say is that I'm not a scientist or doctor, but it's my understanding that it is more complex than what you are saying, in that there is variation among men and among women, and sometimes more variation among than there is between. Again, I'm not a scientist, and I don't think the panelists are scientists either. It seems like it may be a different scientific hearing that you can.
Well, that's why you have the differences. That's why you see muscle mass. That's why you see tidal volume. That's why you see all these.
Right, there's variation. So, for example, in the WNBA, there's players that are 5'5", and there's players that are 6'9".
So let me.
There's wide variation.
Now that you brought that up, let's talk about that. So the center for the Arizona, the Phoenix Mercury, she had to get a genetics test to prove that she was a woman. Did she not?
You know what?
She did.
And it's actually going to the problem with these sorts of sex verification and sex texting.
Well,
that when I think about what all women, but especially black women.
Especially black women? Okay. There was so much insanity there that it really is hard to unpack it, but I will try. First off, again, that woman is the president of the National Women's Law Center, and she can't say what a woman is. Lady, look down. You got a p***, you're a woman. You got a dick, you're a dude. I'm not a scientist. I've been operating on that theory for a long time, and most people have. That'll pretty much solve it for you. That's number one. Number two, she then compares the varying ways that one might define a woman, comparing that to height. If you're 5'4" and you got a p***, you're a woman. If you're 5'9" and you got a p***, you're a woman. Do we have to keep going here, or did we make the point? One more. If you're 6'4" and you got a dong, you're a dude.